Hi everyone, this is Professor Paraso. I just wanted to touch base with everybody at the start of the next week of our course covering March 30th through April 6th. We're going to be looking at an affluent society, life in America in the 1950s, as well as the civil rights movement. So that's kind of the broad range of topics we're going to be looking at this week in the course of this module. A couple of things to note as we're getting going this week. If you have not yet completed your midterm exam, you need to do so this Monday, March 30th, before time expires at 11:59 p.m. in the evening. That was part of the last week's content that ran during extended spring break, but really got underway with the beginning of the second half of the semester after the break through March 30th. So if you have not yet completed your midterm exam, please do complete that and make sure that that material is finished up so you can earn those points. Once you've turned your attention to this week's content, you're going to be taking a look at the module on the left-hand side of the table of contents here. So you'll click on March 30th through April 6th. It'll open up in the column. You'll see the picture taken of Rosa Parks at the conclusion of the Montgomery bus boycott. This image was taken December 21st, 1956. If you scroll down, you just need to go through each of these topics in the module one by one. So you'll review the textbook reading, open up the PowerPoint on the civil rights movement, review that material that I've highlighted for you to really focus on and to learn about in this week's module. There's some primary source material for you to look at, the Brown v. Board of Education of Topeka, Kansas case from 1954 that really gets the ball rolling on the civil rights era in terms of momentous change during this period of American history. You'll also be taking a look at the statement on the ending of the bus boycott in 1956, which will kind of bookend our coverage of the Montgomery bus boycott. There's a video I'd like for you to take a look at, the Freedom Riders, why they got on the bus, essentially walking you through some of the motivations of that aspect of social protest during the civil rights movement. Also important to note with the Freedom Rides in particular, the diversity of the civil rights movement. Certainly we need to be focusing on the leadership in the African American community that was really pushing the civil rights movement forward, but there were a lot of allies from various sectors of the American population who were helping out with the civil rights movement. So the Freedom Riders provide some insight into that story. Once you've done all of that, you need to complete Quick Write 6. So thinking back on the materials you've reviewed this week, you'll want to take a look at thinking through why some historians, many historians at this point, think about the civil rights movement as a second reconstruction of the United States. So we've got the first period of reconstruction that we talked about from 1865 to 1877 at the tail end of the American Civil War. Be thinking about why the civil rights movement represents that second act of reconstruction. So you can reflect on all of that and write about that in your Quick Write, the paragraph you'll post to the discussion board for Quick Write 6. And last thing you need to do is to complete Quiz 3. Quiz 3 is a content quiz, 5 questions, 10-minute timed assessment. It will be open book, open note, focusing on the material we've covered this week. So that's a broad overview of what to expect for this week in our class. If you have any questions at all about the content, about what to do, certainly feel free to reach out to me via email or make a post to the Ask the Professor forum. So I hope you enjoy learning about the civil rights era and life in the 1950s in this week of our class.